And we spent the night that way at that position. But the Navy sent up flares, which lighted up the whole island all night long to keep the Japs from infiltrating our positions. Well, the next morning, as the sun came up, we found ourselves completely surrounded by Japanese, and there was about a company strength, about 250, attacking our side of the island. We wondered where the rest of our troops were, because everywhere we looked there was Japanese.
How did this happen?
So we were fighting them off. They knew where we were, but our own troops didn't, and so we were catching mortar fire, machine gun fire, small arms fire from our own troops behind us. We were about 7,500 yards out in front. And we were fighting as often as best we could, and we were doing a pretty good job. We had that light, and we burned out the barrel in the sucker because we weren't firing spurts of 4 and 5. And I went through a bandolier of ammunition, I remember, on that rifle. But I think it was about, we were under attack. It was about an hour, first hour, and that's when I got wounded. And I remember thinking, geez, I gave my rifle, I gave it away, and it had no stock left on it. It was blowing. The guy said, what the hell am I supposed to do with this? But I had 3 grenades left, and I gave it to him in the bandolier of ammunition. I don't remember who it was. And I crawled off into another depression. I remember thinking, geez, if they break through, I'll get my throat slit, because they weren't taking any prisoners. And of course, we weren't either, because as an assault unit, why, you can't afford to take prisoners, because you always have to take men off and send them back, and pretty soon you wouldn't have an assault force. So we just annihilated them, because they tried to give up. We killed them. We killed everyone that we could see, and I laid there, and a corpsman came over named Kirby that I knew, and he tied off 2 arteries and actually saved my life, because I was bleeding to death.
Where was your wound at that point? Was it an arm wound or a leg?
I had fallen on a grenade.
Oh.
And I had 11 pieces of shrapnel they took out of me, but it was in the right leg, the right arm, in the bladder area. My use canal was blown away. I had some in the left leg, and well, I don't know where they all were. I was a mess in my arm. I went up like this, the blood just streaming down. But he gave me a shot of morphine, and I just laid there, and then I asked one of the fellows if I could have a cigarette, and they gave me a cigarette, and I told the foreman I wanted to drink water. I had 2 canteens of water, and I hadn't drank or ate anything, all day long through the night. And he said, well, you've got a stomach wound, you can have any water. But I kept passing out and coming to, and I don't remember when our troops finally broke through and relieved us, and they put me in a stretcher, and I remember that, and they were carrying me out, and a sniper hit one of the stretcher bearers, and he went down, and I rolled out, and they put me back in, and another bear ran up and acted as a stretcher bearer, and they got me to the beach, and they put me aboard Higgins boat, and one of the fellows that they put next to me, he had his arm down right in here, and he had a tourniquet around. A fellow named Bob White, and he was one of the riflemen I knew from the platoon, the first platoon of Lakeland. And we just looked at each other, didn't say anything. And the next thing I remember, they came alongside this Liberty ship and they attached lines to all four sides of the litter and lifted me up. The plane swung me over on the deck and down, and then that's the last I remember for about 3 or 4 days. But there was, I was told later on that by the time they had secured the island, they had relieved us in that hole. There was a total of 17 wounded Marines, including myself.
So obviously it put you out of commission for several days, and perhaps I should
or longer than that.
Well, yeah, well, for about the rest of the war, maybe.
Yeah, it did.
But yeah, it must have happened then that your Medal of Honor deeds, the action took place on the island of Kwajalein
right.
at this point in time, some of which you may already have described precisely to us, and I should probably know exactly, where this occurred, but I don't.
I was in that hole when somebody yelled grenade, and it was Wolfman, this fellow I got through boot camp with. I didn't see it come in, but when I turned, I saw it, and of course, it was near the wall, and I just went down it because first thing we wanted to do is protect the gun, because that's initially our responsibility, and the men in the squad. And so I just went down with a grenade, and it went off immediately.